Hello, beautiful people. I got my makeup on today for a change because I had a very cool interview with George Madison on his YouTube show. And there is a link on my page to said interview. It's been a very interesting day. Some of y'all know I woke up in the middle of the night, didn't go back to sleep. Then when I went back to sleep, I slept too long. So I pretty much have been going full steam since about noon. Hello, Kay. How are you? Thank you. Hi, Tamani. Hi, Xanthia. So, hey, Jay. I remembered. I feel like that woman. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Wait a minute. I feel like that woman from Romper Room. I see Jade, and I see Xanthia, and I see Monique, and I see Kenya. You know that bitch never called my name? And my given name, is real fucking simple. She never even said Elizabeth either. Me and my grandma used to sit and wait. She never called on us. Discrimination. They even got white names. That's the funny thing about names. Like, I am always on the fence. And this has really got something to do with learning smart. That's what this video is about, because I have spent my day counseling people that have sometimes chosen the hard way. Okay? I don't know what it is about our young selves from the time we can walk. We get around 3 years old. I saw this little boy who made me cry. I didn't even have kids at the time at the mall, telling his mama, no, don't hold my hand. I can do this. And you should have seen the look on her face. Like, damn, you don't need me to help him? Man, that fucks with a parent. And I saw the pain on her face, and I just looked at the little boy and said, one day, you're going to want your mama to help you. In fact, one day, you're going to turn around and look for your mom, and she's not going to be there. And that's not because she abandoned him or anything. People die. People move. You don't really appreciate the things that your elders have to offer you, usually while they're still alive. And that's, like, tragic. That's just crazy. And so, and my daughter, same way. I said, you seriously, as brilliant as you are, child, you want to learn the hard way? And she made a valid comment. She says, well, how am I supposed to learn to get through it? Okay? Brian, you're not getting my video. I don't even know who you are. Brian. Okay? So, yes, to a certain extent, you have to let people dive, so they can come up with fish, But there's some shit you shouldn't dive into, and that's why people seek the counsel of a reader or a diviner or a therapist or anybody that can help them over whatever hump. What's wrong, Shadow? You got the itis now too. See? I don't know why. We got a $200 and some retail order. And she was just like, this ain't wholesale? Which, God, if it was. And I was like, no, we can knock this out. And I said, you just tell me what to get. Because I figured I'd come on here, talk to y'all, grab the formulations, boom, boom, boom. We put this shit together. And Shadow over there like this. Because she been going about as long as I have. Okay? So, yeah, we're tired. And that's one of the things I had to start doing for myself in 2018. Dialing it back so I could move forward. Because when you're tired all the time, you make a lot of stupid mistakes. You're miserable, so I'm like, I'm going to get my sleep in, and that's going to power me to do what I need to do. Trying. But I don't know what it is. It's winter. You hot, you cold. You got your foot sticking out. Then you got the, it's ridiculous. I hate the winter. It would be nice if I could afford, and I probably will at some point. Do they make heated mattresses? Like radiant floor heating? Do they do radiant coil mattresses where they run that? Because I'm halfway between being black, the 76%, being like, fuck that, I'll burn my fucking house down. But the white girl, maybe it's the opposite, because black folks want that heat. The white person may say, man, it's not that cold. You will not burn your house down. Or you don't need that. You'll burn the house down. Whatever the case is, there is just a big, strong part of me that says, yes, heated mattress. And the other part of me that's like, bitch, look. You don't need shit that bad as long as they make blankets in the world. These are I don't know about y'all, but these are the inner struggles. Do you have the inner struggles like that every day? Like me, my mind is always, that's why I tell people I don't need to listen at 48 fucking years old to the other side. We haven't heard all the sides. Look, I've heard the side and I don't agree with it. Okay, so that's why I don't really entertain a lot of arguing on my wall. I don't want to talk to people that the Facebook, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Facebook venting and vague posting by adults. Okay, in the magical community, which is even worse. But I already know what the other side thinks. I can fucking read. Usually if it's a good piece of journalism, that's already addressed. So I post, say, an article, and I'm like, I agree. Or, get the fuck out of here. One or the other. But there always got to be that one. Because people that would disagree with you, they got some shit to do today that actually have a life, will see that shit you posting, and they'll do one of a couple of things. They'll keep scrolling. They will, they might inbox you if it's like somebody you're really close to that has some sense. But usually people with sense keep scrolling. But they'll come to you all right. And then you got that person that will come to you in your inbox all kind of ways of fucked up. Okay? But still, respect for privacy. Respect for we're not going to show our asses out in front of all these people. But I'm going to show my ass right in here with you. And then the people who don't seem to get it, why would you walk into a room of sharks with a goddamn meat tuxedo on? You can clearly fucking see that everybody that's talking about this is co-signing with me. And it's not because I want everybody to agree with me. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't even understand why people don't get that shit. We're supposed to be adults. We're self-supporting, most of us. We've been in the workforce for a number of years. We know how it is. I was telling a client tonight, do not live in the spirit of fear. Do not live in the spirit of fear thinking that you'll be fired. Okay? Fuck them people. Of course you'll be fired at some point. It's not like it used to be 30 years in a watch. My father was greatly concerned about me because I had changed my job. I had like 7 jobs in 8 years. Okay? But I work in tech. Oh, I did at the time. I do still work in tech, but I work for education, nonprofit. That's what I love about our schools. They're not for profit. And they get certified. But, I don't understand. People simply want to disagree to disagree, okay, or agree to disagree. No, they disagree with you, so they disagree. But they want you to know it. And I just want to know, and help me out, because you know the question I'm about to ask, right?
Why do they want you to know?
Why do they expect me to give a fuck?
Right.
We spend a lot of time in our life obsessing about things that, first of all,
UK. International.
I love my UK urges. That's why it's so big. It's that fucking shipping. Woo, that's why I can't leave the country, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all got me trapped like a motherfucker. Because you see some of these shipping charges. United States Postal Service, I ain't fucking with Brown, FedEx, none of these bitches. Because they really fuck up your packages, okay? I've had better experience with the U.S. Postal Service. And we know we got a lot of brothers and sisters in there that need those jobs. So, if you ain't gonna fuck up my stuff on the regular, and I'm helping to employ a great deal of black people, then I'm going to use the Postal Service. Not because I love the good old US of A, because I've been trying to get out of this motherfucker for a decade. And for whatever reason, I'm still here. Now, learning smart versus learning hard. Still here and mad about it. That's hard. Still here and bitter. Still here and not really continuing the process of finding out who I am, getting down my own yellow brick road per se. I just don't understand that. I don't understand why people want us to care about the other side of the coin. They want to argue. You're right. Black is white, white is black. And I just be like, ooh, no. Sometimes, and it's kind of like a cat. If you've ever seen a cat play with a mouse, that's the only time you'll see me say something, because I find fucking with that person just a tad bit amusing. But most days, my petty is on low, not even on simmer. It's like even off, because I realized that my money was time. I put a lot of time into my business this year, and it paid off. So that kind of makes you, when you start monetizing your time, and that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs don't seem to know how to do, because everything that I sell you is based on what the market will bear with some sense. Because like Courtney with Dust to Onyx, I never want to price my lowest price thing for somebody who, I know people who have sent me their last $10. I've sent it back to them and just sent them the oil, and my oils were $10. But I see half an ounce or a fourth of an ounce being $80. I want to know what you did, and I want the spirit you motherfucking summoned when you made it. Can you give me that? $80 oils. But you still have to know what you're worth. $100 goddamn chicken foot. And you do $100 worth of work, Shadow.
Love spell.
Oh, fuck a love spell. No, fuck that. And, I continue to get clients for readings, and sometimes they really hate me. You can tell that they're sitting there resisting the urge to, like, punch the camera or threaten to punch me in my goddamn neck, because I'm weeding them. Because most people, present company included, be on some shit. And then you sit there, like, I do this with myself every fucking morning about what my goals, what I'm going to do today. And then you lay there and you be like, bitch, you know you're not going to do that today. Like, I'm going to clean my oven today. No. You have to talk yourself into it, So I understand where I'm lazy at times, If I can win the lottery, I want to expand this business simply because I help people. But I would be training motherfuckers and folks that, are in my Facebook audience, and you could pass a background check and you got some sense. I could have them come here and work for me. Still have to keep an eye on things. But, that's not the case usually. You usually have to work for what you're getting. So you have to understand what you're paying for. That's the most painful motherfucking part of being a business owner. Books, finding out what your return on investment will be, what is an appropriate price, what is your time worth. Because, okay, these people out here making these $80, $100 oils, I cannot have a judgment on their time, okay? Just like all the folks who will get mad at me for drinking a diet pop, but goddamn, it's Saturday night. It's the day for fructitude. That's the way I'd run my business if I had a lot of money. But guess what? I can have a lot of money if y'all support me. If you tell your friends about me. That's where I've gotten so far. In a couple of years, when my daughter leaves for college, I want to be able to not have to work my particular job, which means I'm going to have to wait for the new administration to come in so I can have some health insurance. But, like I said, you guys keep supporting me. You ask me to stock something. If I can find it, I got a motherfucking basement full of candles. I want to know why. Do you know why we have all these motherfucking candles in our basement, Shadow? What would possess me? Somebody who's like, we ain't buying nothing extra. Okay, let's get this. But no, we're not buying nothing extra. What would possess me to have 50 million 11 fucking candles of all shapes, types in my basement?
When somebody said, you should carry.
Because I want to support somebody black. Put these motherfuckers on the website. Radio silence. And then when I got on here and shamed them, then I sold a few, you know? It's like, you know, I will meet your magical needs. If it's something that is appropriate for me to sell, you don't see a lot of Celtic or non-ATR type of magic and pendants and stuff. You know, man, we might throw in a little Hote or Buddha, but you know, staying in our appropriate lane, and providing basic magic to beginners. That's a goal, you know, because too often some of the names of my competition make me cringe because I know that person, or I know their history, or I even know their products, because when I started out, I was buying all kind of shit. I wanted to see, you know, because I was learning from my mentors, and then I would buy stuff. They would never buy stuff, and I get that, because I don't buy nothing now from no other worker. I got to be, man, I really have to be in some trouble, and that's what you get a mambo for. So I keep trying to tell people the difference between magic and spirit work. There's a gap. Santista Lewis, he talked about that. There's a difference between magic, which can last varied lengths of time, but usually at some point wear off or lessen in their intensity because the situation changed. I put a lot of caveats in my spells, especially curses. You won't act right, it's off. But until you act right, you're going to continue to suffer. Those are the types of curses I really like, because you know what? Especially given the numbers of brothers that are in jail and the numbers of them that probably didn't do a goddamn thing. That's another thing I would do if I had money. I'd have ex-offenders doing something for me. You know, we want to build a village where you can come and have your baby in a safe environment. You know, not one that ignores Western medicine, because there'll be ambulance at the ready and shit. But most women can have their babies at home. You know, and there are skilled people that can be there with them, okay? So that's another goal I want to have. And people are always like, well, are you scared to tell people your hopes and your dreams? Can you help me with this one? Well, you're not supposed to tell me your dreams, your dreams. But, well, you can't speak your aspirations out to the universe, because really that makes me accountable, you know? And I look at people, I'll say that I'm getting ready to do something, and they'll go and do it, you know, to beat me to market, because I take a little time to implement certain things. Yes, doulas, midwives, even doctors. I would love to have acres and acres and acres where you could pay a monthly fee to park your tiny home. But we would have a very big, large community center and a birthing center and a conjure store, which would be open to the public. You know, and somebody might actually do this before me, and if it's good, fuck it, I'm just moving there, you know. But chances are, because I am as picky as I am, specifically, okay, all right, you know, we've been looking at books, and if we want something, if you want something specific, I know it's going to be great. Oh, let me show y'all what I got today from B something Harding, I believe. Let me get the envelope. I want to show you another product from another beautiful black woman that I got today. I was going to post a picture, I forgot. Hold on. Be right back. Just getting this notebook. Where is the notebook? Okay, there it is. And then the other thing. One advantage to waking up in the middle of the night, which probably not a good idea, is I'd be buying stuff. And I'm not talking about hoarders buy stuff, hundreds of dollars buy stuff, but like $20 buy stuff. Now, I understand those $20 can get up, but this is her last name is Harding. I didn't get the company, but I think it's B.H. Harding or something like that. I found it in Black Girls Craft, and it's a book that says CEOing like a motherfucker, and that's where there's a visual. Magic has so much to do with visual. I also treated myself today with this, learning controversial Haitian Creole. I'm sure it's the white way. In fact, even people have said so. But what I'll do is I'll listen to it, and then I'll listen to my mambo and other people in my house that know Creole and work it out. But I've tried, like I had an app. I even set up a time for us, me and my spiritual brothers and sisters, to meet on Zoom. Can't never seem to get there. So I kind of figured, you gotta, as a diviner, you gotta look for signs. I'm like, maybe that's just not the right path for you. That's not the right way for you to go about this. How would you think you could do it as an adult? I was like, maybe if I passively listen to it. I learn a lot of shit by passively listening. People think I ain't listening, or they're saying shit that most people are going to listen to in a different way. And I'm sitting here thinking, you think you slick. Remember one time we were watching a movie and my stepdaughter was like, Mama, can you stop being a psychic? Because I was predicting everything that was about to happen, okay? Devin, I'll look it up and I'll post it here, okay? But, this is goals, plans, ideas. I got plenty of notebooks, binders, actually, with rainbow sparkle dividers that I can use for that black. That did something to my brain. It was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yes, man. Let me get a couple of those. Let me fill them with hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. You all have to understand why petition papers are so important in magic. But before we get to that, something just came to my brain. Lord have mercy. Shadow and I were, I was listening to somebody that had some sense. And how YouTube does the autoplay, automatically played a different worker who has thousands of fans, like double digits, thousands. I don't even have those types of subscribers. I don't understand why, but, it's not about numbers either, really. It's about lives and how you help people. So I just be like, whatever, it's good, I'm busy. It's great. But she was saying you could give fake flowers to your ancestors. I don't give fake nothing to nobody, not even myself.
If I'm giving them fake food.
Right, I'm going to go and get some wax fruit. Put that shit right up there on the mantle. Man, you going to be like Cain.
Not unless it's decoration.
Be like Cain. Don't be like Cain. Because your spirit or your God's going to be like, bitch, I ain't asked for this. Are you fucking nuts? And torture the shit out of you and venerating Azili Freda in a way that you don't. And that's the other thing about learning smart about magic. Every time I want y'all to save this link. Seriously, if you got video splicing software, just slice it down till we get to this point. Learning magic cannot be learned in a vacuum. You can't learn simply by reading books. However, you can build a wealth of knowledge, and then through actually executing the spells, you can see what works and what doesn't. Because if you can't do work on yourself, you can't do work for nobody else.
Also tell when people feed you a line of
feeding your what?
Feeding you a line of bullshit.
Yeah. Man, that's what we gonna do. I don't know if we're going to film it, but I might film before I go in, and when I come out, maybe they'll let me record it. Some of these readers, and some of the shit they'll say to somebody, I'm not going to walk in there. I'm not walking in with no pentagrams, no crystals, nothing. I'm going to walk in there with my hair in a ponytail and some pink lipstick on, Ohio State sweatshirt, and let her read, or him read, and see what they're telling me. Because some of the stuff that my clients are telling me, that these people are telling them, is crazy. So either they're delusional, which is highly possible, or we got some real scoundrels out here giving folks readings. I ain't never even had a time where I was tempted to lie, even when it was bad. Now, what I don't do is turn around. People give people bad readings, and they're like, oh, now you need the super duper helpful cleansing from me. And I'm going to put you, you know, and all of a sudden they get an accent that they didn't have before. I got to go give you a bath.
Like one of my first readings. And she
told you you were cursed.
And that I needed
a $200 bath.
It was a $300 amethyst crystal. And
I got cheeks when I do that.
Like I'm depressed. I'm not cursed.
I know a person took pictures like this all the time. Yeah, depression. You were battling depression. And she took advantage of you.
But I ain't giving no money.
Oh, you know what? That's because you got good sense. But think about all the motherfuckers out here who want to get all new and sparkly and want to hear, too, what they want to hear. Because there must be something, I'm telling y'all, tell me if I'm wrong. If some of these folks get into magic and they want to be cursed. Oh, my God, I'm cursed. But you know it. You know it. Everybody wants to be special. But guess what? In voodoo, you're a horse. Spirit comes and rides you. That don't make you special, boo-boo. That makes you their pawn. And then it's a valuable one. Because they take over. I seriously mean it. Like you move pawns on a chessboard. You are now a vehicle for spirit. Okay, and you don't remember anything when you get up. I actually watched videos, and you can see them on YouTube, where they poured pepper, alcohol that peppers have been soaking in, like ghost fucking peppers. I watched this with my own eyes. It don't look like fancy filmmaking. It look like somebody's cell phone. I done seen some shit in some cell phone videos, and so have you. Because I bet you wouldn't think that you would see Donald Trump inaugurated as president via the internet. You wouldn't be like, no, I ain't never going to see no shit like that. Well, I'm not going to see a man get shot to death in his car. I'm not going to see a man running from a police officer and getting shot in the back. So don't motherfucking tell me that this is some type of fantasy. I'm sitting here looking at the bottle, knowing good and well what is fucking in it, and looking at somebody who is possessed by a spirit pour it on their genitals and not scream. That's the type of shit that happens when you are truly possessed by a spirit. You know, they be in churches doing that dance and they look up every now and then. I would count how many times those motherfuckers would look up. Looking to see. Oh! I'll be the only motherfucker standing in church. I ain't been possessed yet. So if I come back and tell you I got possessed by a spirit, I got possessed by a spirit. I'm never going to tell somebody something that is not true. Even if I see it with my own eyes, if I don't believe it, I'm not going to share it. Because that's another problem. You know, y'all learn dumb as hell. Some of y'all. And at 45, you shouldn't be acting like you're 25. So, we've got a lot of people in the magical community. They be at odds with each other. Then one person decides that they're going to get on their profile and they book, like, true motherfucking rant. Like, you know, you don't even know what they talking about. All you know is they mad and they hate whoever the fuck they're talking about. Okay? And then all kind of folks be like, is that me? Even when I say something and I'm not dragging somebody, I get messages, hit dog a holla. About that tagging stuff last night. Everybody who tagged me, I was, this was like, I'm sharing something with you that's completely unrelated to my conjure business, was cool as fuck. I like conjurers to share things with me. But don't tag me in something that eventually trickles back to advertising for your business, because I wouldn't do that to you. It's called manners. And so even older people who we expect more from, I expect this, kids, the internet and adolescents. Considering how we didn't have that, and high school is still fucked up. But you got folks killing each other now, showing up on each other's doorsteps, videotaping. Now, I ain't gonna lie, we stand around, watch the fight. So this is the modern way of watching. You tape this shit while I'm standing there, depending. Because that's where these kids are. That's where we were when we were kids. She about to get, goddamn. You're not jumping in the fray of that. So that's another thing that I was talking about earlier. Don't jump in the fray. Don't come on my wall with no bullshit. Because I'm going to let my friends, I even will step away for hours and come back and my friends have dragged whatever fucker came in here with their devil's advocacy. And I love it every time. Feel free to drag. But do it properly. Do it, research, knowledge. People, and then oh God, here's the next one. But what is truth? Ding, 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 ding. What is truth? That's your truth. No, bitch. There's a white and there's a black, and both of them are the absence of color. They're completely different, but they're the absence of color. Or with black, every color imaginable, and white, the absence thereof. You gotta understand when people have, what do you call that? Self-esteem issues, or they're threatened by someone who has more, they will act out. Watch toddlers if you do not fucking believe me. And so we have dealt with a lot of races too, and I really do think it has to do with something with your mental development. How you can still hold on to those belief systems, but yet and still see with your own eyes that the shit ain't true. Always trying to talk about Serena Williams being a man. You motherfuckers don't know what a man looked like, because that looked like a badass black woman to me. I'm like, I've been living for that booty since she started playing tennis. Goddamn, come on, spirit, come on, squats. They don't know what a man looked like, obviously, and certainly aren't usually ones themselves. The need to get your ass on the internet and put your business in the street, and then wonder how somebody effectively managed to curse you. You gave them a goddamn playbook. For those of you who don't know what a playbook is, it is the things that the football team has practiced to do to work together to make something happen. So, when you get on here, it's not that I don't have problems. Everybody has problems. Most people's problems bigger than mine, but that's why they come and they're talking to me. And it's sad, sometimes it's exhausting, but it can be also exhilarating if by the end of the call that person isn't ready to punch you in the throat. Okay? So, but who does this because they want to? And then once we talk about truth, there is truth. If I tell you something's going to happen and I see you in 3 months and that shit happened, there are no coincidences. Science, I don't even think science works like that. Every action has a reaction. But then you got bases and neutrals, and I don't even go there because I did not do well in physical science. I did okay in biology. I got a C. And C's were always math and sciences. But just like people thought when I was in college that I had straight A's. They thought I was the most brilliant person, usually in the crowd. And maybe I was. But I sure didn't let them know my weaknesses. I want to be treated in the regards of being the smartest person in the room. Muhammad Salah, you're not getting in my video. These people keep asking to get in my video. I don't even know you. So, people, they get into this magic and they don't know how to work a spell. You're sitting in Facebook groups, and there's this one group that's just, whoa, it's like, and they're not really learning anything. They're just basically putting their business in the street, and people, like sometimes people will get those inboxes from Babalaos, and they have watched you in said group, and they know exactly what to pick apart. When you talk to me as a reader, I understand where the weaknesses are before we deal a single card. Now, I don't know. I always thought the shit was common sense. I didn't think this was something special. I really didn't. It wasn't like a way of putting myself down. I just thought everybody thought like me. which is the wrong thing to do. You certainly, Muhammad, I'm going to ban you from my video if you keep asking me. I'm not putting you in my video. I don't know you. Melissa, I'm going to need you to call me after this. I haven't heard from you. I want to see how my cousin is doing. And that's as close to putting my business in the street I probably will ever get. Ain't none of your business what's going on. Fuck y'all. Just know that I deal with shit, and my family deals with shit, and everybody deals with shit. But your shit don't belong all out in the streets. Remember when they used to throw the shit out into the streets? Guess what that caused? The Black Plague. From throwing all your shit out into the street. So you get spiritual Black Plague, because now you got people that don't like you, either because you're an asshole, a lot of those, or because you're good at what you do. Okay? It's going to be one or the other. For people to pay attention to you. Usually you're doing something right. People that are doing all kinds of fucking wrong. But I don't know, that's changing. Because like I said, this person was talking about fake flowers on an ancestral altar. And I just never heard that. In fact, I've been encouraged by several different people that, no. Right, just like you can't give the Loa KFC because you're a vegan. You become a mambo. There's rules to this shit. And as much as I love animals, you have to understand that the people in Haiti, that's dinner. Part of that goes to the spirit, and part of that goes on their plate, which is no different than what our people and the people before us used to do. Because when those supermarkets and styrofoam, that was the first thing my mentors told me about Haiti. Styrofoam, meat wrapped up. Oh, that maybe now, maybe, I think there are a lot of people still living in remote areas, and probably, hopefully, that's better. Because, some of the densely populated areas of some countries, you can't operate certainly with any anonymity. That's how the dictators worked there when Baby Doc and Papa Doc were there. But, whatever the case is, even if they're not doing it today, they know of a time, they know of a person who killed dinner. Because that's what they ate. And usually the person who killed dinner probably was responsible for feeding everybody else, which would have been a priest or a priestess. And you learn ways to feed spirits, and then, there's an appropriate part for you. But Hollywood, and this is not a secret, this is in books. Hollywood will be like, oh, they're sacrificing children. They're burying people alive, which might happen. But in any case, you know what I mean. That's the fun of this adventure, because voodoo is, and any spiritual path should be very serious. But what I love about it, and what keeps me excited about it, is, you guys are hearing some noise. Do I have a connection issue? Or it might be my child bumping around on the ceiling upstairs. It ain't the people that walk upstairs. She's upstairs. I don't know what the noise is, but if you're getting feedback and you're having problems hearing me, say something. Like when they talk about when you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something. Damn, I just got taken off of my point. Oh, so yeah, our eating just like everybody else in all of the world, because somebody has to kill the animals, the rabbi, the butcher, the meat packer. Somebody has to kill the animals that you're going to eat. And with Jewish people, same thing, ceremony. Okay? Okay, the sound went away. Okay. Some other people, I'm fidgeting with the witch's favorite tool, the bamboo skewer. I'm just playing shit. Sorry, that's me fucking around. Yeah, that's it. I didn't grow up with this shit. I have no idea. You don't know when to be quiet, So, so I'm just playing with a stick and shit, because that's what we used to do when we was kids. We played with sticks. We played pickup sticks, literally. This was the shit we did, and then we went outside and played with real sticks. Mud pies and shit. I never forget when my grandmother gave us a bunch of old spices, and we went to town. We made some mud pies. We tasted them because they smelled good. Don't eat mud pies. Don't do it. So, learning smart with religion. If a religion has established rules, read about the public ones. If you pick up any book about voodoo, most of them will tell you that, if you're not initiated or if you don't have the knowledge, you can get into some dangerous things. My mom will be like, I'm not going to tell you something that you won't mess up and piss off a spirit. So, for example, I was talking to somebody who probably had an altar up to a particular deity, and I was just like, okay, did somebody read your head? Did they tell you how to do that? Were you instructed? And no. I said, okay. Then on another person, and I'm just to show how this can both happen with different situations, gave me one of the wrong colors for Papa Legba that she had learned in this group. And I said, okay, Papa Legba being one of those more cool, open spirits, I think would still have an issue with you giving him purple. I'm just saying, And people ask me, why does this matter? Well, because it matters to people. And different houses may do different things. Some people may say it's okay to venerate Papa Legba with purple. But those are not the colors I was given. So I'm going to go with what I learned in my house. But what I would do if I was said person who is not initiated is I'm going to look at a lot of things and see what they say. And chances are the ones that you see are the most consistent are the traditions. Because that's how traditions, stay alive. You talk about them. Now, there's other things that you don't talk about. And people think that this access to magic means that it is for them. And I talked about this morning, this afternoon with George. I'm not telling nobody what they can and cannot practice. But if you sit up here and tell me that you practice hoodoo, and that is, and by definition, don't hate the player, hate the game, don't kill the messenger. By definition that hoodoo is the magic of the ancestral magic of African American people. I don't see anybody really denying that outright. They may claim a little bit more influence, but I think it's safe to say that anybody that was serious about this would know that. Wouldn't you think? So sometimes I think in extremes. So, I got to ask Shadow because she's all even-handed and shit. But I'm thinking, you would know. So why are you practicing if you ain't got no black ancestors? Who are you working with? When you set up that ancestor altar, did they tell you that they converted to hoodoo or something? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I mean, I work within a praxis. I work within a system, and I like that. And I always love when the system shows me that it's legit. Okay? The Christian system can be legit too. Nobody said Yahweh wasn't God. Nobody said Jesus wasn't real, although we don't have a lot of evidence. The only guy who wrote about him, like from a non-biblical standpoint, was kind of like a traitor to the Romans. So, they keep pointing these things out. So then at some point you've got to look at logic. Just like we learn anything else. Like I told my father, I'm so disappointed in you. I'm sitting here telling you about the book that you live your life by, and you don't want to research it any further. That what you have ingested it's okay for you. It's like, I'm full, thank you. And he said, yeah, he's old, so I left him alone. Whatever. But you cannot be a logically thinking individual, especially somebody like my father, who pushed all of us to go to college, and think that would be acceptable when you have taught your children to question and to learn. That once your children question and they learn, I wish my brother was on here, I'd bring him into the video, but you don't like what they learn. And you're hiding from logic and evidence and science and a whole bunch of other shit. Okay? Because you have to understand this is science. It was our medicine. It was our mundane. It was our magic. That's all wrapped into what this is. I heard somebody try to discount like home remedies as not being this part of this magic. Well, that's where that law of signatures comes in. Where something, what it does in the mundane or what it looks like is what it's for. Whether it's magic or medicine. Because goddamn it, there'll be a lot of dead motherfuckers There's a reason why certain things were for certain things. That was the creator that said, hey, this is what you use this for. A man that had a headache and he out there foraging in the bush. Some told him, pick that white willow bark. How they find out that there was an active ingredient of aspirin in it if they didn't. And I do believe that's by divine guidance. I do believe, because ain't no way in the world I'm going to be out here walking and just pick some shit up and know what to do with it. There are a lot of people that believe magic is from them only. Do you, boo? But I believe in higher powers. I believe in spirits. I believe in my ancestors. They were here. They still are. And they have proven themselves to me over and over and over again. So if you're a black person and you're just embarking on this and you don't have an ancestor altar, really that's all you need. Because if you are doing altars according to a specific religion, understand what you're getting yourself into. Before I have a whole presentation that I send people who are interested in having a divination. Because what I found out was they had no clue how much it cost, the rigor, what kind of person my mambo is, which if she's my mambo, why do you think she chose me? She's like, oh, I love you. You know, you have the values that I have. So you cannot join my house and not pay attention. You got to be able to follow directions to a T, because anybody tell you in magic and in voodoo and other religions, if you are not careful and if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to fuck yourself up. And that is not a supposition. It's a fucking fact. How many people you see go crazy? You be like, you dumb motherfucker. You want to go from ancestors to goetic demons.
All the spirits that you don't really have a relationship with.
If you believe in this work, you gotta believe that there is somebody, a spirit out here who's dangerous. Just like there are human beings who are dangerous. I'm gonna call them humanoids because I don't believe they're all like my human. In living, breathing flesh, dangerous. So if you believe in spirit, I like to believe in God, you gotta believe in Satan, in the Christianity tradition. Believe in Yahweh, you gotta believe in Satan, you gotta believe in Jesus. And my system, I gotta believe in the Loa. And I also gotta believe in the people who taught me about the Loa. I gotta believe that they're telling me the information I need to know to keep our tradition alive and to keep it done properly. You know? So, and that's another thing. We join these groups. This is why I don't say nothing a lot in groups. Because somebody comes in and says, well, I need a protection spell. Can you give me... And the time it took your black ass to write out, I need a protection spell, you could have put the same thing in Google. Okay? And you could have read everything you could possibly find a protection spell. Then you'll find a book that really stands out to you from the citations and the other things that you're reading. And you're going to go get that book, which is going to lead you to another book. Which is... And then some shit going to happen, which is going to lead you to use what you learned. I'm sorry, we don't have grandma to teach us anymore because we thought grandma was country. It wasn't so much, I don't think it was so much the churches, but the Great Migration. Like wanting to leave behind newspaper for wallpaper and dirt floors. And not no air conditioning and all those things, you know. And, you know, for a long time, this country used to teach us that white was right. The things that they valued mattered in any great way to us, and it's a trap. It's a diversion. Okay? So, you know, a lot of people didn't learn, and then the church killed the rest. So we got to do what we have to and like kind of use a balance. It's like the temperance card of technology. Like when you send me a petition, I put your petition underneath your candle. You wrote it. Got your petition paper. Now, I'm not killing another tree by getting another piece of paper and writing a petition. Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I'm anointing, man. You could put sigils on it. You can do whatever to make this happen for your client. But I don't do a lot of extra work if I divine on it and I see that ain't it. In fact, I've called customers and be like, you sure you want this? Or you got 3 or 4 damn things in here for one candle. Boo-boo, it don't work like that. You get all crossed up and shit, put some nose opener in it, some bye bitch, and they, it's energy. Okay? There are different ways to practice with me. If you live in the state of Ohio, and I divine on it, and you're pretty cool, you come hang out. You'll learn by being. But if you are distant, I offer classes on my website, biglizconjure.com. Hoodoo 101, Hoodoo 102, Hoodoo 103 for people of color only. And I've just explained why. And then there's a crystal magic class we're having that's open to the public. Play card divination open to the public. And I'm going to try to add more and more for both sets of people. So if you've got magical specialty, I'd love to learn about it. I can be your first student. And I can tell you I've been designing online courses for 20-some years. I can tell you if you fuck it up. Okay? So, of course I'm coming back to Daughters of the Moon. It's a really hard time of year for me because that's the end of festival season. No, I don't have the bamboo going again. I don't know. I'm wiggling around. I don't know. It might be interference. It probably is interference. And it's so funny because we had none of this shit when we was coming up. This is the Jetsons, but we won't complain about it. It's frozen. It'll unfreeze. Shit. Sit here and wait. Do whatever you used to do. Paint your nails. Whatever. Shit. It will unfreeze at some point or we'll start over. And we won't have wasted any money doing so because this ain't film. This ain't even a VCR tape. And it can be done over. And that's what I like about a lot of things in life. You can do things over again. But you can also listen to dumbass people trip yourself up. So don't learn hard. Excuse me. I'm drinking that pop water. Learn smart. Watch the lives of some of these people who are giving you this really, and I know it's exciting, all kind of existential, crazy ass shit to do that doesn't sit well with your spirit. And that's number one. You feeling kind of funny about what somebody asked you to do or said was real, then you gotta go and look. Okay? It might be one of my spirits. They'd be chipping in too. They'd be like, hey, how you doing? Followed me all the way to Baltimore, interrupted a presentation that my friend was giving. She's like, get your people. So, hello to everybody who just joined, okay? If you're feeling some kind of way, that's where that comes from. Black people are the originators of feeling some kind of way. We made that. Okay? Why? Because there was a connection with spirit that said, I'm feeling some kind of way. Just like bye Felicia. Okay? Or bye boy. I'm always stepping into my position. My mama tells us that we were born priests and priestesses, if that was our, goal. We just needed someone to teach us how to be priests and priestesses. And so that means that as long as you haven't gone through, and every system is different. There are different requirements for all kinds of religions, not just ATRs. And you gotta study those things. Sometimes you're gonna read books and they'll have a whole bunch of lies. Look who wrote it. Are they native Haitians? Or are they from Africa? Or are they, what's their credentials? Have they studied this? Where they get the information from? There is nothing wrong with asking, where did you get your information from? Lafayette posted something that made me go into my About Me, write down where I was trained, where I worked for the voodoo store for 2 years. I internship with them. What my house was, what my religion was, and what my lineage was. Because black people, we show our papers. Okay? We've had to our entire lives. So we can go and say, if you are worth a damn, if you are not cheating people out of their money, because you have to report to your godparents. And just like any other parents. Now let's think about this. Let's talk about parenthood. Okay? You got a kid, and I want you all to click the heart if this has ever happened to you. Parenthood will train you for initiation. Okay? your kid, you're for all intents and purposes, at least a spirit. Okay, consider your parentage as a spirit. And your child does something, either trying to make a shortcut or not pay attention, that offends you. I don't care if you don't spank your children. I don't care. It's not an argument about spanking. You still want to punch them in the throat, whether you hit them or not. You know you do. Because you told them repeatedly, that's not cool, or you shouldn't do that, or we don't do that here. And they decide that was a surefire way to get me to do something. Reverse psychology. I don't ever think they caught on. Oh, I can't do this? Shit, yes I can. Why? You know, I was bored. I was in school. I was smarter than everybody else. They knew I was bored. My grandmother flunked kindergarten or first grade because she was bored. I said, Grandma, how you flunk kindergarten? Or whatever it was. And I went to the kindergarten my great-grandmother went to, and it's easy to fail gym. You just don't do shit. But it takes a special kind of motherfucking effort to fail kindergarten altogether. My grandmother, the original Big List, she was like, shit, I'm sitting there looking out the window. That's where she used to see spirits, too. She used to scry. See them in glass, see them in mirrors. I don't know why they didn't cover the mirror. Maybe they did. They got us out of the house. When my great-grandmother passed away. So I'm not even going to tell that lie. I bet you they covered those mirrors. So, you know, it's just, there's steps to this. There's rules of engagement. And that's why they call it a practice. Some things you are going to mess up or misunderstand. But let's make sure it's the shit that won't get you hurt. You know? Because there are some things, even parents who don't spank their kids, there's at least one thing that if your kid did, you'd be like, I'm finna catch these hands. I'm finna catch these hands. Even if you got to go in another room and talk yourself out of it. There's that one thing you used to be like, you got to sit. You don't ever do anything when you're mad. That includes beat your children, spell work, consequences. There are consequences. There's a science to action, reaction. There's a reaction to anything you fucking do. So you better make motherfucking sure before you do it that you follow the steps. I told my client, you know, you just can't just grab Orisha. I'm like, that's not their system. If you don't like their system, don't like their spirits. They made the system. You know, what are you thinking about? If they're that powerful, they would change the system if they wanted it changed. And they are that powerful. Why does this work for so many people? Because we're doing what we were told to do. And if you have ever had a child that won't do what you told them to do, you know you want to punch them in the throat. Because you get tired of talking. Okay? And some spirits will be like us, the good parents, and breathe for a minute. A lot of spirits will let you think you got away with that shit. You ever have a mama, anybody y'all have a mama that would wait till you get home and she would go home, calm down, have a cup of coffee, talk about you like a dog to her sister on the telephone, go have a square, go have a shit, and then come and beat your ass. Ever seen mom do that? It's torture. You don't know when she swooped out on you. And luckily, that's some stuff that my kid didn't have to grow up with, because there's a lot of mental warfare that goes on with poor parents. And just like there are good spirits in the world, there are some spirits that you don't want to fuck with, and they will let you know why. Not everything is for everybody. And that's why it's really important you find out what you're talking about. Somebody came to me talking about some papagette. What I tell them about papagette? No, I won't. I ain't even been taught that yet. Stop playing. That's some next level shit. Okay? So, yeah, you know, have a whole day playing. Erica said her mama was like that. Yeah, I'm going to go home and file my nails. I ain't going to do my nails because I'm going to fuck you up later. You know, had that belt around her neck. You know, and that's what people don't seem to understand. I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with humiliation. I'm like, I'm going to get on the phone and tell all my business to my family. You know, you won't believe what this motherfucker did today. I I'm gonna kill her ass. She don't know when. I'm gonna kill her. And sometimes your auntie will talk your mama out of it. So I can see some spirits, some rider spirits with the petrol. Like, come on back. I'm like, we'll talk about it, Petrol spirit be like, no, fuck that. You ain't gonna learn today. Getting familiar with a spirit and mistreating them or ignoring them. And it's hard, y'all. That's why they call it work. You're not gonna be perfect every day. You're not gonna remember to light your altars every day because there's gonna be some bullshit that inevitably happens. So then what you gotta start doing is spell work to keep the bullshit from happening. That's what you gotta do. And I'm keep learning this stuff, and I think about this stuff, but I very rarely share this with people because it can be intimidating. Okay, but you have to do everything one spirit at a time, one day at a time, one card at a time, one rock at a time, one root at a time, one herb at a time, one curio at a time, one bone at a time. That's the only way you learn something. It's all, that's not the way we learn. And like, it'll kill me. On my website, you can put a dash between the phone numbers. They're there for a reason. It's hard as fuck to read a phone number without dashes. Pardon?
It does make it easier to read.
It makes it easier to read. Sans serif fonts are used on the internet because they're easier to read on the screen. Serif fonts are used in printed books because they're easier to read on paper. It depends on the modality. Well, you know what, Jasmine? Yeah, it should be intimidating. Don't we all want something bigger than ourselves? Wouldn't that be intimidating to you? Something that makes miracles happen and participated in the creation of the world. Someone who started revolutions, the only successful slave revolution that ever occurred. Yeah, it should be intimidating. And it would keep us all in our motherfucking lane. It would keep us humble. You saw what happened to Moses. He ain't say nothing about that water from the rock coming from Yahweh. You see what Yahweh said? Oh, you've been through hell and high water for me. I've even turned your motherfucking hair white. But guess what, boo-boo? You ain't going to the promised land. Damn. That's fucked up, don't you think? All my life I had to battle with the Yahweh being a benevolent God, and somehow Jesus wasn't him, but was him, and he was our salvation, and he was the forgiveness, and even if I went and choked a motherfucker out premeditated, all I had to do was say, I'm sorry, and everything would be okay. And they say that our religion sounds like a motherfucking fairy tale. Does that even sound right to you? I get down with Old Testament Yahweh. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Square up. Do some dumb shit if you want to. There's going to be a consequence. So when you do magic and you go after somebody, I told somebody today, you better doing CPR, cleanse, protecting, and reversing than actually full out cursing that person, because if that person don't mean you no damn good, guess what is coming back to them? Something they made. Ain't no, what is that? What do they say that? Skin off my back. Ain't no blood on my hands. Okay? Right, no accountability is incredibly dangerous. We should have to answer to somebody. And if that was not the case, then, I'd just be out here, me and my roots, energy, I share the roots, which is a thing, but it's not as strong a thing as having spiritual connections with your work. And for me, I'm going to tell you, like my daughter said the other day about something she did. She said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go for the gusto. I'm not going to half-step this shit. I am going to get an ROI that is worth the price of admission, okay? That
goes for ass whipping.
That goes for ass whipping. Oh, that goes for ass whipping. If I'm going to jail, I'm going to jail. You know what I'm saying? When the police get there, bang, 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 head on the concrete. Because I'm going to jail. I'll make it good. I'm going to jail for no dumb shit. Did y'all see that video? I hate sharing really negative videos. We get enough of that in life. I try to do stuff that make you think, keep you uplifted, keep you as a servant of the higher good. Okay? I saw a video I couldn't share the other day, but I'm going to talk about it because this is exactly the bullshit I'm talking about. This guy ran into a cell phone store and attempted to rob it. He immediately ran to the back because that's where he thought the safe was. This motherfucker didn't have nobody else with him. And the store owner was like, see, this is where you know you evolved. You don't give a fuck about what's in that store. It's going to be all right. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Because dude had a gun. Store owner, she had to come back for the motherfucking customer. Customer ain't paying no attention. That's one thing I tell my daughter all the time. And especially y'all. She was born a witch. But if you want to find out if you are or not, if you want to try to be a witch, you better be cognizant of your surroundings. They had to come back in for the fucking customer. I'd left that motherfucker right in there. But then we would have had a hostage situation. So they was like, oh, my good deed about to go to waste. Bring your motherfucking ass out that store. So the person got out the store and the store locked the door. And that's motherfucker in the back. And when he come in, he think everybody's scared and laying on the floor. And they have locked him in the store. He locked in the store. And he starts shooting the lock, trying to... And if you in a hood, you know that shit's bulletproof. Come on, they make it that way. Okay? You know what? Jasmine, I'm going to tell you something about that. People talk about karma. There's no karma in hoodoo. We do what's justified. You do a divination if you're close with your spirits, and you ask them whether you can do it. And then ask, they can say, oh yeah, bitch, you can do it. You know, some of your spirits be having you up in some shit. They be like, yeah, you can do it. Ask more questions. Don't just get what you want and walk away.
Should I do it?
Should I do it? They'd be like, no, bitch. You would really enjoy that, but no, because you're going to fuck yourself up. You get that 6 of spades. Bad decision. I'm not going to do it. You know, you can trust your first mind, but, yes, the first word was motherfucker, right? That's my mother's, motherfucker is my mother's favorite word. I love my grandmother's too. People all the time like, you talk to your mama like that? I'm like, who in the fuck do you think taught me? Remember, your kids are watching. My daughter's funny as fuck. She'll sit there and curse, and then she apologizes because I keep telling everybody she's Marilyn Munster. She's straight A's, don't get in no trouble. She just got smart ass mouth. She's a millennial living, majority white suburb, and I have to tell her that sometimes she forgetting who her motherfucking mama is, because her mama been black all her life. Even when I grew up, was the only black girl in every grade. I didn't say every class. I grew up as the only black girl in every motherfucking grade, and I still knew I was black, and I knew my mama was black, and I knew what I could say, and I knew what I didn't. But do I have to chop you in the neck to remind you? And usually that's enough, because she know I'm crazy. I don't have to do a lot of threatening or whatever, but and that's what's crazy. People don't like to be told they're out of pocket.
Think so.
I don't like it, but I be out of pocket sometimes. My mom will be like, look, or I'll call her and I'll run something by her. She'll be like that girl on Higglytown Hero. That squirrel. No little black girl with all these dreams of fanciness. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, you should watch an episode of Higglytown Heroes, because it's this little black girl, and I talk about her all the time. And she always got these elaborate plans and shit, and I always have to do that with Shadow. Whoa, grasshopper, pull it back some. Who's doing this? I'm not doing this. I could have done this a long time ago. I want to do this. You want to do this? You want to do this? Damn witch boxes. Go on, do that. Being a good leader is delegating appropriately. There's certain things that I want to devote my time to. And so we talk about resolutions. For every single black magical person, if you're going to pursue hoodoo, witchcraft, or an ATR, this should be your year to really sit down with it. You'll read, you'll take classes, you'll listen to podcasts of all types and radio shows. You will go to different occult stores in your area and see if they're selling cascarilla and calling it goofer dust. That happened to me once. You're going to start to see this is all bullshit. People are like, why do you teach people how to do root work? Aren't you worried about not selling your products? Hi, Izzy. And I'm like, no, because most people still aren't going to do that. They're not going to have 50 million 11 herbs. They're still going to want me to send it to them. However, I always kind of like, whoa, when one of my students places an order. But, you gotta, this is something you build up over time. And sometimes you need some shit. Or sometimes you don't have room for that. Or you live with some crazy ass, Christians. A lot of different reasons why you can't set up. A lot of people came in around 2000. I'm old. 2013, 2012. I consider that to be when, when I started seeing it, They're talking about witchcraft in the news now. We got a black witches coven. We have black girl magic. So I would have had to be up under a rock. So like I said, we didn't have a lot of this going on. So, the information is there. And it's really sad when there's all these resources, both like this, very human. There's people like me. People ask why. Well, why what do you think? What is the secret to your success? And part of it is accessibility. And part of it is keeping it real. I have a recommended reading list. I am me. I'm really showing my fucking age. Inbox me. And I'll send you the required reading list. Yeah, there'd be some, some of the work is simple, but and I like that because the work's complexity sometimes depends on the complexity of the problem. So, if you're proactive about stopping bullshit at the door, your spell work won't be as nearly as complicated or as expensive than if you let shit pile up. Kind of like when you have somebody come clean your house and you're paying them by the hour. Well, you can try to be neat during the week so that person can just come in and wipe down the surface. Like nobody could come in this room right now and shine my table even if they was going to do it for free. Because it's covered with shit. It's covered with the stuff that we've been working with. So you have to prepare. I don't clean up for housekeepers, but I straighten up for housekeepers because I want them to hit the surfaces that I need to have cleaned. So that's kind of what you want to do. Not always, most of us, I used to, and I don't know if I'm ever going to consider that again because it's more expensive here in Ohio, have a woman come every couple of weeks and really bust down my house. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing that more myself. It's excellent exercise. But at the same time, if we do that, most of us, middle class people, is because there's a serious time crunch or, it's rarely because you lazy as hell because you just let that shit pile up. But and the lazy as hell people will pay for that one time to have a maid experience and not really get much out of it because they were so busy trying to straighten up they couldn't clean nothing. So, by doing that CPR, that cleanse, protect, reversal work on a regular basis, however you see fit. I posted up days of the week for performing magic. Do I do it all the time? Not as much as I should, but it only takes 2 weeks to develop a habit. I have been doing a lot more spiritual baths lately, so with a daily, weekly regimen is not far-fetched. You only learn by doing. That's another thing. I mean, lots of people well, I shouldn't say that because I'm an educator and I know that people learn in lots of different ways. So you have to give them that. But in order to have a well-rounded education, especially in the matters of the occult, you're going to have to do a certain amount of hands-on learning. You don't practice on your clients. You practice on yourself. That's why they call it practice. So, you learn how this stuff works. You've seen people. My daughter did a working before I ever did. Shit worked like a charm. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. And in this day of internet fuckery, sometimes you can't even trust that. I remember when they had Superman fighting Batman for the first time on YouTube. Do you remember that video? I was like, whoa. you know, and then they eventually made that movie and I heard it was total shit, so I never watched it. But when I first saw that shit, I was impressed, you know. And so when you do a spell or working on yourself and you see how well it works, you will be impressed. If you get a reading from me and then you come back 3 months, 6 months, a year later and be like, you were so right, boom, 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 you see that it works. Some folks don't rely as well or as heavy on messages from spirit as they should. Sometimes it's hard, like somebody, I keep waking up the same time of night and Lori said, that's the ancestor, somebody's trying to tell you something. So I'm taking a book upstairs with me tonight. And if I wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to read said book. You know, I'm working on educating myself, and then I can get online and say, what do y'all think about this? Because I do know how to ask a question if I want an answer. Or if I have a stone that I don't know what it is. There's numerous things I'll ask a question or recommendations for. But most of the time, I don't like to speak unless I'm a bit versed in what I am approaching you with. Now, this battery is about to die, so I'm tired. I just love to talk about this with people because I'm hoping that I'll stop having readings like this. You know, I'm hoping that people won't be so lost. So if you know somebody and they're posting fuck shit, share this video with them. You know, look, you gotta do stuff in a certain way. And if you are a free spirit, then you're going to want to find the most liberal, magical practice, hippie as possible. I don't really know none. Wicked got that threefold law. I'm throwing. I'm sorry. If I got to, I will. I don't live to throw at people. You know, people always come up, I heard you throwing at me. I'm like, I don't even know you. Man, I spend my time thinking about how I can do me, whatever that is. Most of it's improve me, love me better, educate myself better. And then I'm looking at, so because I can do that, now how can I help my child? Now, how can I help my spiritual children? Now, how can I help my clients? I ain't want to do none of this. I love it, but I ain't want to, who does this to themselves? You know, this is, and for the people who take it seriously, that's people that just jump into it, don't know what they're doing, mess stuff up really bad, or get ridiculed. These people in this community, they keep receipts, boo-boo. They be like, I run across them all the time, send me a friend request, I'll be like, I remember you as the fool who, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but I was new when I was young then. Why don't you sit down and have a goddamn seat? Why don't you shut up? You know, I tell my stepdaughter that she's a beautiful, beautiful girl. And, you know, when she really takes time to think, she's smart. But she got that off of the top of her head shit. And I'm like, do you realize what you sound like just now? Do you realize how utterly stupid and uncouth you sound right now? And I know you know better. You know, we really have to, throw as in reverse magic, curse someone, baneful magic. That's what I mean by throwing. And I don't have to do that. I don't have to, but I will. Usually people run themselves into the ground. Or they get better, which is what I hope for everybody. I want us to all be good. I want us to be good with who we love. I don't care if you love a man, loving a man, woman, loving a woman, man, loving a woman. Don't matter. Be good. Learn how to have effective, happy relationships with the person you've chosen to spend your life with. Stop looking at it as a disposable situation. I want everyone to live well. And we are in an environment, in a presidential administration that doesn't believe in that, which it means we are witch doctors. What does that mean? That people are depending on us to help them through this. Now, if a surgeon is on crutches, because he broke his leg. You know how you got to balance yourself on crutches? Do you want him to do open heart surgery on you? Do you want him to do brain surgery on you? No, you don't. It says nothing about that person's abilities. It's just that at that time, they're unable to do their jobs. And it's okay. You know, I see people that say they practice hoodoo and over and over and over again, their life is in shambles. And I'm sitting here like, there's got to be something. Either they're doing it wrong, they've offended a spirit, they're not really about it. Because you can't live this life and not feel its effects. If you really believe in what you know, if you doubt it, well, I don't really know if this is going to work. I had a client start off from doubt with me tonight. That is if it were. No! And sometimes it takes therapy for us to get rid of that. Our parents have planted it in our head. Society has planted it in our head. Educators, because they set us up for the school to prison pipeline immediately, especially young black boys. You know, but you can't start off from the bottom because you ain't going to accomplish it. The secret law of attraction, that ain't nothing new. It's magic. You willing things into manifesting them, putting them in motion. Magic. People ask me what I do. I manifest shit. Sometimes it doesn't come to fruition. People think, oh, my spell failed. But if you sit and look long enough, you'll find out why it didn't work. And like any good spiritual parent, sometimes your spirits will keep things away from you that are no good. But it is up to you to ask them, hey, please, keep the wolves off. You know, I'll venerate you, I'll honor you, but stop that shit at the door. You know, they are elevated spirits. They want what we want. Recognition, love. You know, there was a video I couldn't put up either because I didn't want to make people cry about this 95-year-old woman living in England by herself and how she got paired with a 27-year-old student because they have this program to eliminate loneliness with older people. So the student comes and goes as she pleases, and the woman's not bedridden, but she does help out with some things around the house and provide some companionship, which, you know, lowers her living expenses. But it made me so sad. Because I like being alone, and I would hate, like, you know, being like, I don't want to be fucking with nobody, and then one day get really, really old, can't leave the house, and be like, okay, I want to fuck with somebody, and ain't nobody there. Especially when you're 95, because a lot of your peers are gone, you know? So, you know, when we're older, we don't have minutes. You know, you lucky if you wake up in the morning and wake up dead. Some other dimension. So every day is a chance to just do whatever makes you happy. And, you know, and yes, you gotta work. You know, that's why it's important to love what you do. That's why it's important to be really honest with yourself. And, you know, love what you do. My screen stopped because my battery's low. And my battery is low. I'm sitting here, I keep thinking, I got some candles. I'm sending y'all candles. I know y'all ordered fixed candles, but there's a few labels and a few spells that I haven't done yet. And I'm tired. You know, and it's okay to be tired. That's what I'm going to let myself do this year. And I'm not going to over-prepare for events because we have a lot of stuff left. We made money, but, man, I'm over-prepared. And then we look at, you know, statistics, and we see what people buy and what's the most of it. We make sure we have that. Because it's consistencies, like studying traditions. You know, that's how people know what to advertise to you. They keep their eye on the trends. They keep their eye on what people start to employ. And so, same thing with magic. You are going to read and read and read and talk and read and listen and whatever you do, interact. Okay, 2%, watching the video. You know we only use 2% of our brains. Speaking of 2%. 2% of our brains. Magic starts unlocking. That's why keys are so important in magic. Magic starts unlocking parts of our brains that we never even use. It's amazing. It's really something else. It's a new level of communication. You enjoy the wind differently. You enjoy sunshine differently. You enjoy the grass underneath your feet differently. You enjoy candle flames differently, and you certainly enjoy metaphysical, like horror movies and stuff based on this differently. Because the shit you used to find scary, you look at that and you be like, they on some old bullshit. Shadow doesn't watch the horror movies, neither do I really. But you know, I've watched a few now that I am a voodoo son, and I'm just like fighting the air. Yes, get up and walk around. That is good. Because, man, when I spend all day in that chair, my ass be hurting. And that's just old age. So I'm going to let y'all go because I have absolutely no idea how long I talk, but I know it has probably been way too long. Y'all stay black. Bye-bye.